Greetings and welcome to another excellent chess problem. All right, let's see what we can do here. Tournament face on. All right. What are we trying to do here? All right, situation. So this is my dad's rule number one. What's the situation? Two rooks against rook, queen, and bishop. So the problem we have here is that, we also have a 7th rank pawn ready to queen. So here's the dealio. Brute force technique says rook takes his queen, bishop takes our rook. And this is terrible because we cannot queen our pawn. So right off the bat, the thing that jumps off of the page to me is, well, what's jumping off the page to you? First, impressions. So you might want to pause this and think about it and, see what it is. And I'll be back here in 3, 2, 1. All right, the first thing that jumped off the page, I told you the rook takes queen. That's the obvious one. But it's pawn to h8 equals queen, check. Notice that the rook over here on c8 is protecting the queening square. It's shielding. So we queen here. And now what happens? Queens with check. He has one legal move, king f7. This should be relatively easy. So we queen with on h8 check, king f7. And don't we have a really good move? Pause the video, and this is the secret. You're going to learn to do this like an actual chess master. Pause the video and see if you can figure out the move. Take as long as it takes to get the move. It takes you a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's going to be more important that you get it right, even if it takes you 5 minutes to find the move. Here, without moving any pieces, and this is what separates the men from the boys, is to do this without touching the pieces. So, I'll be back with the solution here in 3, 2, 1. All right, so the answer, we're going to queen this with check, king to f7, the only move, and then we have queen to f8. That's just a checkmate. This is what I call the queen side checkmate. Now, there's two checkmates that occur with a queen and the king surrounded by his own pawns. I call them number one. The first one is called the queen corner checkmate. Notice this king lives on g7, and let's look at the 8 squares that surround this king. So if the pieces are blocking him in a specific manner, like if there was a pawn here on f7, queen here, pawn making a queen on h8 would be the queen corner checkmate, because the queen guards these 3 squares, well, the rook guards the queen. But it's getting the diagonal, and these escape squares of f7 and g6 are blocked. So that's not the case. We queen, he goes to f7, and then we go queen to f8. Again, he's here on f7. I'm going to tell this to you, and then I'm going to show it to you again with the king moved, because it will help you visualize what I'm seeing. So king goes to f7, queen f8 is checkmate, because the queen guards 1, 2, 3. Queen guards this square, queen guards this square, blocked. The queen also guards this square. The king is on f7, so by x-ray it guards the f6 square. This e6 is blocked, g6 is blocked. So let's go ahead and do this. All right, this is a checkmate, because notice e8 and g8 are blocked by the queen and the rook. e7 and g7 dark squares are blocked by the queen diagonally. The king is on f7 and f6 is blocked by the queen by x-ray. This is the queen side checkmate of the 3 by 3 square that the king is in. It's very important to recognize this. This is an important checkmate position. It doesn't happen all the time, but it's one of those things you have to be able to learn to spot it visually, because if you can spot it visually in advance of it occurring, like I did, well, it makes your rating is higher. So let's go back here. Remember, like I said, if there was a black pawn on or a bishop or a rook or a queen, anything but a knight, this would be a checkmate. But since it was open, he went there, king f7, we saw this, and then we executed the side checkmate. The side, and this works in any rotation, it doesn't really matter. Again, the queen is on a square that the blocking pieces cannot be knights. If they're anything but a knight, it's a checkmate. If this is a rook, a bishop, or a queen, it's a checkmate. If this is a rook, a bishop, or a queen, it's a checkmate. Or a pawn, obviously. But if it's a knight, it doesn't work. Same thing if we go back to the corner. This would be a checkmate as long as f7 and g6 are not knights. But there has to be something there to block the king. So this is the queen corner checkmate of these 3x3 squares of f6, f8, h8, and h6. The side square checkmate, the queen side square checkmate, once again, the blocking pieces or a knight move away from the queen. So there you go. Two important checkmating positions. And it's really funny because this title, Go for the Queen, is a complete ruse. It is a trap. And if you remember the previous daily chess puzzle I did, was to seek out and avoid blunders. Well, we just did that right here because I was looking, first glance. So the very first glance I told you was, let's look at the most basic brute force technique. Rook takes rook, just loses, the queen takes rook. But rook takes queen. This go for the queen is like, look at this, rook takes queen, bishop takes queen, and you're just a piece down, and you're not going to queen this pawn. You can check him, but you've lost control. So it's a complete diversion of what you want to do. And that's okay. I was not fooled by that, and I hope neither were you. You got all the time you need. Don't get in a rush. Don't get under pressure. It's easy to say, hard to do. The aversion of pressure is done through training. The more you train, the more the back of your brain knows that you're legit. You can't fool yourself. If you're a chump player, you can pretend that you're not, but you know that you are. Conversely, if you've done the work and attained success one step at a time in chess, you know you're not a chump. Every great player makes bad moves. Just because you make a bad move doesn't make you a chump. It's repeated bad moves that make you a chump. So basically, when you check out my videos, the chump stops today or tomorrow or whenever it is you look at it. Because it's no fun to be a chess chump. You want to be able to make good moves when opportunities present themselves. Not every time. You're not perfect. No one is. So that's the thing. Diversion of the title, Go for the Queen. Really? Well, I mean, pawn queens and checkmate is a checkmate in 2. Move 1, queen. Move 2, checkmate. Pretty simple, right? But this is the thing that happens in your games, or will happen over time. As you become stronger and more skilled, things will be intermittently easy for you. Like this one was like, I was just looking at it, was like, oh, I'm just checkmating this guy. Okay, that's the thing. So Pretty much straightforward, easy stuff. I hope that you solve those, but again, don't look at it as a zero-sum game. If you failed to solve this, that means you're younger and more of a beginner, but spot whatever you did well versus what I was telling you. Whatever you see, even if you don't get the problem right, it means you're on the path to success. That's what I'm talking about. It takes a long time. I've been playing chess for 55 plus years. I'm telling you, I know I've been down the road. I've been down the road, had great tournaments, had mediocre tournaments, had a couple of bad tournaments. You know, it happens to everybody. So it's like, don't worry about it. Do the best you can. If you did the best you can, you know that it's fine. It does take a little bit of luck to win games. And you never know when it will show up or when you're going to need it either, man, I'm telling you. So, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something here. And look forward to seeing you in another video. Check out my mega training. If nothing else, just watch it and look at the move after move after move of killer thinking, and look for the mistakes that I make, because it's 3 strikes and you're out on mega training. And do what I do. I look at the opportunity to learn from a mistake. So whenever I do those problems, I become stronger. Okay? Chess-wise, in here. My chess brain gets stronger a little bit every time, because every time I make a mistake, I learn how I'm not going to make that mistake ever again. So, great to have you here. Look forward to seeing you in another video. And as always, like and subscribe.